was good. It was definitely good. Yadi Gaur Nair hai to. And also, Acharya's bhajans are very good. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we will go ahead start the Bhagavata Pravahamu. I'm going to share the screen. Welcome to you all. Thank you for being here. And without the mercy of Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, we wouldn't get this devotion in our lives, in our hearts, and Krishna is our existence. So we are very grateful to them, very grateful to them. With all gratitude to them, I'm so glad to be in your sincere association. We'll go ahead and start the Krishna Katha. I will share the screen now. Am I sharing it? Not yet, I guess.
Not yet, Mataji.
Not yet. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 All right. So we will. It's 8:18. Okay. So Srimad Bhagavatam will quickly come to where we are right now. A quick recap. Srimad Bhagavatam, the introduction was over, and then significance of Srimad Bhagavatam was over. Also, the whole summary of Srimad Bhagavatam in 1 hour was discussed. And after that, we have discussed about the 4 subject matters in Srimad Bhagavatam. The first one is about the 6 questions of the Naimisharanya sages. And second one was Narada Vyasa Samvada. Third one is the stutis of Uttara, Kunti, Bhishma, Dwarakavasis. And fourth one is about Parikshit Maharaj. In the first topic, that's about 6 questions of Naimisharanya sages. That is covered in the first, second, and third chapters. The 6 questions and the 6 answers. And the second topic starts from the 4th chapter. And in that 4th chapter, 3 questions were asked. First question is Srila Suta Goswami, Sukha Maharshi asked Suta Goswami to please explain how Srimad Bhagavatam was written, what was Vyasadeva's inspiration. Right? So that will cover Narada Vyasa Samvada. Second question was about, can you please tell us something about Parikshit Maharaj who heard Srimad Bhagavatam? That's the second one. Third one was, can you tell us about Suta Goswami, Sukadeva Goswami, who recited Srimad Bhagavatam so well with no nidra and ahara? Those were the 3 questions that were asked in the 4th chapter. So the first question covers 3 aspects. The first question was about Narada Vyasa Samvada, right? That is covered in 4th, 5th, and 6th chapters. The rest of the 2 questions are covered in the rest of the first canto. So coming to that first question about Narada Vyasa Samvada, we had 3 parts in that. First part was, what was Vyasadeva's contemplation? He was looking to see why he was feeling heavy-hearted in spite of doing that service of dividing all the Vedas and presenting it to the Kali Yuga people. Yeah. So the first topic was Vyasadeva's contemplation. When he was contemplating like that, his guru Sri Narada Muni comes to him. You may have to mute wherever the sound is coming if they forgot. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. There.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, muted from something.
Keshwan Prabhu, can you go on mute, Prabhu?
Yeah, I think they might have forgotten.
Yeah, I think they went now, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So, yeah, in the first topic about Narada Vyasa Samvada, the first one was what was Vyasadeva's contemplation. Yeah, and when he was contemplating like that, Sri Narada Muni comes there. That starts the 5th chapter, and Narada Muni explains what went wrong with Vyasadeva while he was dividing the Vedas. He explains that Dharmartha Kama was glorified so much. So Sri Narada Muni instructs Vyasadeva to glorify Achyuta's pastimes abundantly. Yeah, that was all discussed in the 5th chapter. And after that, Narada Muni explains his past life also, describes his past life, just to show how potent bhakti is. Because Sri Narada Muni was saying to Vyasadeva to glorify bhakti. So in order to say that it's not only Shastric, it is not only endorsed by Shastra, the potency of bhakti is not only endorsed by the Shastra, but is proven real time in the lives. So in order to stress that point, Narada Muni was explaining how he practiced bhakti in his previous life, how within a very short period of time, he got so much of ruchi in bhakti and quickly attained spiritual body, which he had at this current life. Then Vyasadeva says, very wonderful, but would you please explain a little more about what exactly happened to you, how you lived your life after Bhaktivedantas left your place? So then that was discussed in the last class. After Bhaktivedantas left a little boy, Narada Muni, his previous life, he described about his journey, how he traveled after the departure of his mother, how he traveled through the forest and then did the meditation, and how Paramatma appeared in his heart, right? And quickly disappeared and started speaking and encouraging Narada Muni to continue glorifying him throughout his life. And that way he will progress more, get mature, more mature in bhakti from the stage of bhava to prema. And that's how he will be able to attain spiritual body at the end of his life. So after saying those words, Paramatma disappears. And then Sri Narada Muni, as Paramatma instructed, Namani Anantasya Hatatrapa Patan Guhyani Bhadrani Kritani Chasmaran. So he was absorbed in the Nama Rupa Kritani, pastimes of the Lord. And Hatatrapa Patan, not caring much about the people outside, he continued with his journey. And Vimatsaraha, he was devoid of mada, pride, and matsara, envy. So in this way, Narada Muni was absorbed in the Nama Rupa Guna Leela of Bhagavan and devoid of mada and matsara, and showed us how the bhakti can transform us real time in his life, which happened pretty fast in his case with the association of the sadhus, and because of the mamata he had for the sadhus and strictly following the instruction of sadhus. That's why he could attain the spiritual body. So after that, Sri Narada Muni leaves the place and instructs Vyasadeva to please go into meditation so he can realize the glories of the Lord. And here we have something to take home. After Sri Guru has instructed Vyasadeva what his service was going to be, that is to glorify Achyuta abundantly. That was the service given to him, right? What did Vyasadeva do? Let's see. Vyasadeva, Vyasa sat for meditation at river Saraswati. Okay. After taking the achaman, he went into meditation. That's what Vyasadeva did. Okay. We will see what he saw in the meditation. But for us, something to learn here is when there is an instruction that comes from Sri Guru. Yeah. We always say Sri Guru because Shri is the potency of Bhagavan. So Bhagavan's internal potency, Srimati Radharani, comes in the form of Sri Guru to us. Of course, Nityananda Ram is also there. So to indicate the internal potency that our Guru carries, he is addressed as Sri Guru. That's one thing, to indicate the internal potency, a representation of the internal potency to guide us, and also to indicate Shri is eternal. Guru Tattva is also eternal. That's why that word Shri Guru has its own gravity. Okay. So, what did Vyasadeva do after he received his instruction from Shri Guru? First of all, he was submissive to hear from his Gurudev, Shri Guru, to see what went wrong. That's one. Second thing, now that he has instruction of what he needs to do, yeah, that's second thing. Third thing is, we have to notice he did not go with the mental plans of how he should do, how he can carry on this project of glorifying Krishna and coming up. So not so much in the mental chamber. He simply purified himself. He touched the purified water and sat into meditation. Okay. So after receiving the instruction, with the instruction that comes from Sri Guru, comes the empowerment also. Srila Prabhupada said that so many times. With the intensity that we receive, with the mood that we receive the instruction, with the same proportion, the empowerment comes. So as the vision, as to carry out that instruction also comes. This is what we mean by descending mercy. Descending mercy. And see, when there is a waterfall, when the water is falling, from the waterfall, we can simply see the waterfall and say, oh, okay, this is so beautiful. The waterfall is beautiful. Yeah. And the sound of this waterfall is also good. It's soothing. We can just see the waterfall, hear the waterfall and say, okay, this is good. But for somebody who wants a little more than that, then they would be like, there's fresh waterfall. I really want to taste that water. If somebody wants to taste the water, then they would just not stand at a distance and watch and hear. They would go to the waterfall. And what would they do? They would make a cup, a hand cup, right? And then receive the water that is falling from above and then drink it. Only then the taste of the water is realized. Until then, the waterfall is seen and is heard. Same with the bhakti, same with the instruction. If we want to just do bhakti, a little bit of here and there, as much as we can, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit of Krishna here and there, that's very good. At least there is Krishna in our life. But for somebody who would want to live only to carry the instruction of Guru, they would want to taste the water. So for us to taste the water, we go there and then we receive it in the hand bowl. That is the indication. So that is indicating submission. Again, imparting knowledge is from heart to heart. Whatever realization Sri Guru has will be imparted into our heart. Yeah, and for that to happen, we have to sync our frequency to them. Then, with not much of effort, things will be realized and will be manifested. And we'll see what happened to Vyasadeva here. He got this instruction from his Sri Guru. He just purified himself, sat beside the river Saraswati, and then he went into meditation. And these rishis, Vyasadeva is a rishi. Rishi means seers. Muni means thinkers. Rishis are different from munis. Munis come up with different philosophies of mental speculation of what they think. So all the thoughts, the theories would come from munis. Rishis, they see. Pashyanti, they see. And that's what Vyasadeva saw in the meditation. Absolute truth. The truth can exist at 4 levels, can be expressed, perceived at 4 levels. One is Vaikari, through the words, audible words. Second one is Manasik, through the mind. Information heard is Vachika or Vaikari. Information, telepathy, with the mind. And there is information that we can get from around by Pashyanti. This is what rishis do. They can see certain things that normal people cannot see. That is the 3rd level of receiving the information, jnana, that is around us. That is called Pashyanti, seeing, 3rd level. The 4th level is para. They are on a transcendental platform. So here, Vyasadeva went into Pashyanti. He was seeing. So what did Vyasadeva do after receiving the instruction? Bhakti yogena manasi samyak pranahite amale apashyat purusham purnam mayam cha tadapashrayam. Vyasadeva, with all his heart and submission, practiced Bhakti Yoga. Tried to connect to the Lord in the heart through Bhakti Yoga. Manasi here is mind consciousness. Samyak pranahite amale. Amale, there is no mala. There is no contamination of modes there. Shuddha. So with Shuddha Bhakti Yoga in his consciousness, perfectly situated, what did Vyasadeva see? Apashyat Purusham Purnam. Pashyat, he saw. Who? Purusham Purnam, Purna Purusha Shri Krishna. And who else? Mayam Chatadapashrayam. His Shakti, Maya Devi, was also there. How? Tadapashrayam, seeking shelter, fully controlled by Purna Purusha. This is what he saw in his meditation. When he went into Shuddha Bhakti, when he was practicing Shuddha Bhakti, uncontaminated by modes, he saw Purna Purusha along with his Maya Shakti, that is fully controlled by Purna Purusha. Right? In Bhagavad Gita also Lord Krishna says that this Maya is, he's not bound by Maya, but Maya is his energy. He's the controller of Maya. So same thing here in Srimad Bhagavatam. After that, what else did he see? Yaya sammohito jiva atmanam trigunatmakam paropi manyate anartham tatkritam chabhipatyate. Yaya sammohito jiva. Yaya, this Maya Devi, Maya Shakti, sammohita jiva is bewildering jiva. And then what happened? Atmanam trigunatmakam, because of the effect of this illusory energy, Maya Shakti, this jiva trigunatmakam was subjected to 3 modes of material nature. And so what happened? Paropi manyate anartham para. Actually, this jiva is para, transcendental. Api, even though Jiva is transcendental, Manyate anartham, accepting anartha. Anartha is something that is not needed on the spiritual realm. What is that not needed? That these three modes are not needed. Anything that comes in between Bhagavan and Jiva is not needed. But with the influence of this Maya Shakti, turning away from Krishna, the Jiva has accepted anartham, that which is not needed. Tat kritam cha vipadyate. Because of that, he was entangled in the miseries. This is what Vyasadeva saw in his meditation. So he saw Bhagavan, he saw Jiva, he saw Maya Shakti, he saw that Jiva is transcendental, but turning towards Maya Shakti, he was bewildered and fell into miseries. And so now what is the chikitsa for the Jiva? How can Jiva get relieved from these miseries? Anarthopashamam sakshat bhakti yogam adhokshaje lokasya janato vidvam shakre sattvata samhitam. That's what Vyasadeva saw in his meditation, that Jiva was bewildered. And now how to come out of that anarthas? Anartha upasamam. Because of the anarthas are miseries, and upasamam is mitigation. So these miseries that are coming because of the anarthas, how are they mitigated? Sakshat bhakti yoga adokshaji. By directly practicing bhakti yoga to adokshaja, Lord Krishna. So this fact, Jivas did not know. People do not know. That's why lokasya janato lokasya. People ajanato. They do not know it, that they are suffering because of these anarthas. And the upasamam for this anarthas can be obtained by directly serving adokshaja in bhakti yoga. To convey this message, vidvans, all, this learned people, munis, learned sages, like Vedavyasa, Chakre Sattvata Samhitam, compiled this Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay? And so this Bhakti Yoga is so potent that it is causing anartha upasamam, mitigation of the miseries. How is that happening? How should bhakti be practiced so the mitigation of miseries can happen? For that's the answer for the next one. Yasyam vayi shruyamanayam Krishne paramapurushe bhaktirutpadyate pumsaha shokamoha bhayapaha. This bhakti yoga starts with shruyamanayam, to hear about who? Krishna Paramapurushe, the Purna Purusha, Krishna. Bhakti starts by hearing about Parama Bhagavan, Purna Purusha, especially from the Shuddha Bhaktas. And Bhakti Rutpadyate Pumsa, just by hearing, this is the first step, hearing. Our service, Bhakti Yoga, the first service is hearing. Hearing is also service. It's the biggest service. When we hear with all submission, and when we do the contemplation, and when it is coming out as practice, hearing is the biggest service and the very first service. So when we hear with that submission about Paramapurusha Krishna from the right sources, then Bhakti Rutpadyate Pumsaha, Pumsaha, in the heart of the people, Utpadyate generates what? Bhakti. Bhakti automatically generates. Because this Paramapurusha, Lord Krishna, is Satchid Ananda Vigraha. Krishna. Kru Dhatu is to attract. Na Dhatu is to give Ananda. not only to the living beings that chara, moving living entities, but for achara also, chara and achara. For all chara jivas, he is Krishna. He attracts all the jivas and gives ananda to them. That's why when Lord Krishna sings the flute, all the moving things stops moving, all the immovable things stops flowing, starts melting like that. So because of that attraction, the Shakti, the Akarshita Shakti of Krishna, and Anandita Shakti also. So when we hear about this, about Lord Krishna, bhakti generates automatically. And how do we know that bhakti has generated? Shoka, moha, bhaya, paha. All the shokas that we have, miseries that we have, moha, all the illusion that we have, bhaya, all the fear that we have, gradually goes away. So these are our litmus tests to see if our bhakti is heading the right direction. In the very beginning stages of bhakti itself, Shubhada and Kleshagni happens. Kleshagni is mitigation of miseries. Shubhada is all auspiciousness. They happen, they come. But why is the Shoka, Moha and Bhaya there for us? And how can bhakti mitigate that? We want to pause and know a little bit about that because it's very relevant to us. We may be practicing bhakti, but if we feel like we are not there yet, we want to see why we are not there yet. And what can we do so we are not in Shoka, Moha and Bhaya? Yeah. We have Shoka. Shoka is misery. Misery is when we lose something. When I am losing mine, something of mine, right? The Shoka is there. If I am losing my thing, then the Shoka is there. Why is there Bhaya? Bhaya is the fear that I might lose something. Yeah, the body or possession or anything. So this losing aspect causes fear. And when we lose it, then there is Shoka. Why is this happening? Because we are in Moha. We are in this world of mind world. Maya samsara. This is what I am now. I have this, these people are mine, these things are mine, and this is mine, that is mine, this is. So all we have such a mental world, and we are the king or queen of that mental world. And we want everything to go in that world in a way that causes us satisfaction and happiness. And we want to control the things accordingly. And we feel like everything in that world, in our mental world, Maya Samsara, and everybody in that mental world are mine. And I have certain expectations from those people because they are mine. So this is a bubble of mental world, Maya Samsara. This is the origin. This moha, this bubble of mental world, Maya Samsara, is moha. And here I am standing on the mental world, this bubble. So this bubble, it can burst anytime. That's why there will be bhaya. Things can change anything in this mental world. And when we lose whatever we are expecting in this mental world, then there is shoka. So basically, this mental world, mind bubble, if we are standing on that bubble, the Maya samsara, the mental world, then there is shoka, there is moha, and there is bhaya. Though I am thinking I'm practicing bhakti, if I'm attached to this mind bubble and wants to stay there only, not come out of it, then I would still have shoka, moha, bhaya. But as we hear from the Acharyas and from Srimad Bhagavatam, that this is all temporary and we are not the enjoyers, we are not the controllers. It's Supreme Lord Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhrudam Sarvabhutanam Jnatva Mam Shantim Rachati. In light of those instructions, if we realize that our mental world is illusory and is not safe and can cause us misery, and then be willing to enter into Krishna's world, where we are just a part of his beautiful world. We are one among many other beings that belongs to Krishna. And where our identity is just an insignificant servant of Lord Krishna through Sri Guru. And where everybody around, everything around is just meant for the pleasure of Lord Krishna. That's Krishna Samsara. So when we make the transition from this Maya Samsara, the mental bubble, to Krishna Samsara, then Shoka Moha Bhayapaha, all these things will leave us automatically. Because we are leaving this moha, the mental bubble, and actually entering into the reality that this is Krishna's. This is Krishna Samsara. Yeah. So that's how the Shoka, Moha, and Bhaya would leave us. When we give Lord Krishna his place that he belongs to, that he is a proprietor, he is the controller, he is the enjoyer. And how can we get the enjoyment? Yatha taror mola nishevaneya triptanti skanda bhujopashaka. When the water is poured to the roots, the leaves and twigs will be happy. So I cannot be happy standing on my mental bubble, Maya Samsara. But I can be happy when I am in Krishna Samsara and please Krishna. Same as the twigs and leaves will be happy with the water when the water is poured on the roots. Yeah? So that's how Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Rutpadyate Pusa. That is Bhakti. When I am willing to be in Krishna Samsara, that is Bhakti. And he is the proprietor, enjoyer, and the controller, that is Bhakti. But if I just want to have Krishna somewhere in the corner of the home, a little picture, and he is somewhere there in the background faintly, but my life goes on as I want it to go, then that is a very faint Bhakti Abhasa. Then the Shoka, Moha, Bhaya may still be there. We are still work in progress. But when we enter into Krishna Samsara gradually, then the Shoka, Moha, Bhaya will go forever. Where there is Lord Krishna, Krishna Surya, then there will not be any shadow. So there will not be any Shoka, Moha, Bhaya. Very good. So that's how, just by hearing about Lord Krishna, the Bhakti generates within the heart. And when we practice Bhakti under the instructions of the Sri Guru, then Shoka, Moha, and Bhaya will go away. After that, now that all about the Bhakti Yoga, he has Vyasadeva saw in the meditation, and Shaunaka Rishi was glorifying how Bhakti can do the Anartha Upasamam, and how the Bhakti actually starts by Shruta, hearing, and then the next question comes. So Sutta Goswami said, see, Vyasadeva saw this in the meditation, and this is how Bhakti Yoga is powerful. And after that, he actually taught the Srimad Bhagavatam to Sukadeva Goswami also. He says that. If you look at this picture, here is the Vyasadeva sitting and Sukadeva Goswami hearing this. Yeah. Then Shaunaka Rishi asked, Sukadeva Goswami was enlightened. He was already in Brahmananda. What was the need for them to hear about Srimad Bhagavatam? He's already there, Brahmananda. Then the response is, Suta Goswami says, even for Brahmanandas, the Achyutas, Bhagavad Sevananda is so tasty. He says, Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgrandhapi Urukrame Kurvanti Ahaitukim Bhaktim Itam Bhuta Guno Harihi. Beautiful. Atma Ramascha means those souls who are just happy being self-realized as soul or a part of this Brahmajyoti, Brahmananda. So even for those souls who are already liberated and is merged into the Brahman and having the Ananda, the Brahmananda for them, and Nirgranda, Munayo Nirgranda. Nirgranda is those who have really learned all the Grandas. And in other words, very scholarly also, very learned people, or those who have no education at all. So two meanings are there. So for any of these categories who are very learned or don't have any education at all, illiterate, and even for those who are in Brahmananda, Nirgranda, api urukrame kurvanti haidukim bhaktim. Urukrame is that Lord that is praised with the choicest verses. Lord Krishna, kurvanti haidukim bhaktim. Kurvanti is to do what? Ahaitukim, causeless, bhaktim, service, devotional service. So, for those who are not educated or those who are so much learned, and for those who is relishing the Brahmananda, for any of these, all of these people are attracted to the devotional service, causeless devotional service to Urukrami, Achyuta. What to speak? Ittam Bhuta Guno Hari. What to speak of the glory of Lord Hari? These are the wonderful gunas of Lord Hari, that his transcendental devotional service can attract even the liberated souls. That's why Sukadeva Goswami was sitting in the assembly and was hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hearing is also devotional service. But when we are hearing and relishing the guna of the Achyuta is also devotional service. So that's why he sat in the assembly. And he also says, Harir Gunakshipta Mate Bhagavan Badarayana Adhyagan Mahadakshanam Nityam Vishnu Janapriyaha. This is very beautiful, something very relevant to us. Like this, Sukadeva Goswami was hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and for him, Harir Gunakshipta Mater, Mater, his consciousness, not just the mind, was filled with, has become Gunakshipta, Gunakshipta of Harir. So his consciousness was totally absorbed with the guna of Lord Hari, Kalyana guna of Lord Hari. Yeah? Bhagavan Badarayana, Bhagavan here is very powerful. Who? Son of Vyasadeva, Sukadeva Goswami. So this is how Sukadeva Goswami has become powerful by absorbing his consciousness with the Kalyana guna of Lord Hari. And as a result, what happened? Nityam Vishnu Janapriyaha. Because he was absorbed in the auspicious qualities of Lord Hari, he was also very much loved by the devotees around. So we don't have to put separate efforts to uplift or cause auspiciousness in the people, in the lives of other people. When we are absorbed in the Kalyana Gunagana of Lord Hari, through the guidance of our Acharyas, then we will be entuned to the service that is required to be given according to the place, time, and circumstances. So this is one way, completely being dependent on Krishna, in the absorption of Krishna. Then whatever that others need to get at that point of time, they will be given through us. And this is how Sukadeva Goswami was likened by all the people around, Vishnu Janapriya, by absorption into the guna of the Lord. When somebody gets absorbed in that rupa, guna of the Lord, automatically their heart is so softened and they want to express that through the service. And that service automatically flows around according to the place, time, circumstances, and person. So this is inside out. Because Sukadeva Goswami was absorbed with Krishna inside, then his interactions flow outside accordingly, exchanges flow accordingly outside. So that's how he became beloved to the devotees around. So this is the completion of Narada Vyasa Samvada, where Vyasadeva went into meditation, saw the Shaktiman and his Shaktis and Jiva, and then saw that his Jiva is entangled with the illusory energy of Maya, right? But that illusion can be cut off or taken out. Jiva can be taken out of that illusion by practicing Bhakti Yoga. And the Bhakti starts with Shruyamana, with hearing. And as we practice Bhakti under the guidance, when we get off our mental bubble and get into Krishna samsara, then Shoka Moha Bhayapaha will happen. And then even the Atmarama, even the liberated souls are attracted to the pure devotional service to Lord Hari. And when someone is absorbed in the Kalyana Guna of Lord Hari, then they would automatically become Vishnu Janapriya. So that is the end of Narada Vyasa Samvada. And now we are entering into the next topic, that is about Parikshit Maharaj. We have completed Narada Vyasa Samvada. Yeah, now we are entering into the second section about the Parikshit. We'll go over this, then summarize the whole thing quickly. So Parikshit Maharaj. When Shaunaka Rishi asked Sukadeva Goswami to please speak something about Parikshit Maharaj, the scene starts with Lord Krishna. Now Srimad Bhagavatam, first entrance of Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam is also as a charioteer, as in Bhagavad Gita. He's Bhakta Vatsala, Lord Krishna. So this is how it starts. That Ashwadhama killed the 5 Upa-Pandavas, the sons of Pandavas, when they were sleeping. He did this in order to please his master, Duryodhana. But Duryodhana did not really like this heinous act. And so Draupadi her heart was broken and she was crying. And Arjuna vowed to kill Ashwadhama and to behead him and bring him to Draupadi. So Arjuna started chasing Ashwadhama to kill him. So Ashwadhama tries to escape, but he couldn't escape anymore. Out of fear, in order to escape from Arjuna, he releases Brahmastra. Brahmastra is a very fine weapon, very scientific weapon. See, in our time, we hear about the atom bombs, nuclear bombs. Nuclear bombs are very powerful, but they don't have a definitive focus. It just devastates everything. It, massively. No targeted focus for our nuclear weapons. But Brahmastras they have such a target when it is released. It can destroy a particular person only. Even if that person is present in the womb, Brahmastra can attack just that very focusedly the fetus in the womb, like that. So very potent, very focused Brahmastra. So first time Brahmastra, Ashwadama releases Brahmastra in order to escape from Arjuna. And this Brahmastra causes so much of heat and fire in all the three worlds. And Ashwadama did not know how to retract it. So Arjuna, he didn't know what happens. What happened when these changes happened, when there was scorching fire all over. Then he asked Lord Krishna, to please tell him what has happened and what he's supposed to do. This is what the devotees turn to quickly when there is a challenge. Oh, Krishna, this is, what do I do now? What is my next service? I would consider this as your arrangement. What is my next service? Quickly turning towards the Lord. That's what Arjuna did. Lord Krishna said, this is the effect of Brahmastra, that is released by Ashwadama. He does not know how to retract it. And this is not good for any beings in these three worlds. So Arjuna, you also now use your Brahmastra. And with the power of your Brahmastra, you can retract both the Brahmastras. And that's what you need to do now for the Loka Kalyana. So after he receives that instruction, Arjuna releases his Brahmastra and retracts both the Brahmastras. So all that destroying effect of the Brahmastras is mitigated when Arjuna retracts both the Brahmastra weapons. And after that, retracting the Brahmastra, Arjuna goes, captures Ashwadama and wanted to, Ashwadama, he captures him. Krishna says, okay, now that you have captured him, quickly, just kill him. He's not really worth living. See how he has killed your sons, and you also vowed Draupadi that you're going to kill him, right? He's a Brahma Bandhu, not even a Brahmana. You should quickly kill him. That's what Lord Krishna says. But in order to see what Arjuna would decide, Arjuna, he did not buy those words. He passed the test. He did not kill Ashwadama, but brought Ashwadama to Draupadi. He arrested him and brought him to Draupadi. Then, what does Draupadi say? She is soft-hearted too. She says, no, we cannot kill Ashwadama. Bhima wanted to definitely kill Ashwadama. We know Bhima well, right? He wanted to kill Ashwadama, but Draupadi says, no, we can't do that. He is the son of Dronacharya, your guru. So he's a representative. So you cannot really kill him. And that too for the Kshatriyas, if we are killing Brahmanas like this, that is not good for us. It's not auspicious for us. Also, losing the sons is a great pain. I'm already experiencing that, losing 5 sons. I don't want his mother to experience that pain. So please don't kill him. That's what Draupadi says. But Bhima wants to kill. Yudhishthira also supports Draupadi. And Krishna also says, then Lord Krishna says, okay, you have to reconcile everything now. Ashwadama should be killed according to Bhima. And I think he should be killed. But Draupadi says no. So reconcile everything and do something that all these things are satisfied. Then Arjuna, he removes, he cuts off the jewel that is present on Ashwadama, that is given as benediction to him. And he shaves the head and beard mush, half face. He shaves half of the face and half of the hair, and then releases him. So this is equal to killing him while he's alive, taking away the jewel, cutting off the jewel and shaving him like that, and then outcasting him is treated as death. but at the same time, he did not kill. So in this way, Arjuna satisfied both the parties there. Okay. And that's how the Ashwadhama is released. And what did this Ashwadhama do after he is released like this? That will come in the next class, next Katha section. We will discuss that. Yeah. So I will quickly summarize what we have discussed today. Yeah. Our take-home points also, and then pause. After we discussed how Sri Narada Muni has instructed Vyasadeva to please glorify Achyuta's pastimes abundantly in Srimad Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva simply received the order, purified himself, and went into meditation. So there, our take-home point was to see if we have to really taste the water of bhakti, that will depend upon how much submission do we have for the mercy that is flowing down through the Guru Tattva. Proportionate to that submission, we will see the realizations. Yeah. And there we also have learned that with the instruction comes the empowerment. With the instruction comes the realization first, and then empowerment for the realization to manifest outside. That would happen for somebody who takes that instruction with all the gravity and submission that we have seen with Vyasadeva. So his realization has happened in the meditation, and he could see Lord Krishna, Jiva, and his Shaktis in the meditation. And the same glories were manifested outside. He could write it in the stream of Bhagavata. So in this way, the instruction from Sri Guru has given him realization, Pashyanti, he could see it. And it got manifested outside as Srimad Bhagavatam. This is what we have seen. And second thing is, in the meditation, Vyasadeva saw three things. One is Shaktiman, yeah, Bhagavat Tattva, and then Shakti Tattva. Shakti Tattva is, Shakti is one. But if that Shakti is bringing us close to Krishna, that is Bhakti Shakti. If the Jiva wants to turn away from Krishna, then Maya Shakti will turn him away from Krishna. So Maya Shakti and Bhakti Shakti are the Shakti Tattvas. And Jiva Shakti is in between, Tatastha Shakti. That we have seen, right? That's what Vyasadeva saw in the meditation. So there is Apashyat Purusham Purnam. Purusham Purnam is there, and whenever Purusham Purnam is there, then internal energy is there immediately with the Purusha. So Bhakti Shakti is there. And then Mayam Chatatapashrayam, there is Bahirangika Shakti. Maya Shakti is also there, fully controlled by Purna Purusha. And in between is there Jiva Shakti, Yaya Sammohito Jiva. Why is that Jiva Sammohita, got illusion? When he turns towards the Maya Shakti, then he feels like he's not dependent on Krishna. He's disconnected to Krishna. But same Jiva Shakti, when turns towards the Lord, then he realizes that he is dependent on Krishna and he feels connected to Krishna. And because of the influence of the internal energy or Bhakti Shakti, he will be able to get connected to Krishna and reciprocate with Krishna. So Jiva Shakti has this free will, whether to turn towards the Maya Shakti and forget Krishna and feel like he is independent, or turn towards Lord Krishna and be under the shelter of internal energy or Bhakti Shakti and be dependent on Krishna and reciprocate with Krishna. If he's turning away, the Maya Shakti will give miseries. If he's turning towards Krishna, the Bhakti Shakti will give him ecstasy of devotional service. So it is up to the Maya, up to the Jiva to decide. So how can this Jiva, who is turning towards Maya and is in miseries, be saved. Yeah. Anardopasamam sakshat bhakti yoga adokshaje. By turning towards Lord Krishna and practicing bhakti, all these miseries that were there when turning towards Maya Shakti, they would automatically go away. They simply have to practice bhakti. When the sun rises, we don't have to do anything different. The darkness will go away. We simply have to turn towards Krishna, Krishna Surya, and the darkness will go away. That is Anardopasamam Sakshat Bhakti Yoga Adokshaje. That also we have seen. These three Shaktis, how Jiva's miseries can be mitigated. And the first service in the devotional service is to hear from the realized people about the Bhagavan. Through their realizations, Krishna, Lord Krishna's, everything about Lord Krishna, we will be attracted to Lord Krishna and the devotional process, and then our shoka, moha, and bhayam will go away. And this particular devotional service attracts everybody, including the those who are in Brahmananda. So Bhagavan's Sevananda is even more superior than the Brahmananda. Yeah, Bhogananda is the enjoyment that one gets from this jada, this material things in this material world. So Bhogananda is miserable and temporary. Past that is Brahmananda, where liberation is there. The soul is completely liberated from the modes. Past Brahmananda is Bhagavan's Sevananda. That's Bhaktyananda. That's why even the Atmaramas are attracted to the devotional service to Achyuta. And if one's mind is absorbed, one's consciousness is absorbed in the wonderful qualities of gunas of Lord Hari, then they will automatically, their heart becomes soft and they are filled with servitude, and they would automatically become Vishnu Jana Priya, likened by everybody because of their Vaishnava qualities. So we have discussed all that and about Ashwatthama, how he killed 5 Pandavas. Arjuna chased him, brought him to Draupadi, and then finally he was half shaved and the jewel was taken away, and then he was banished from the kingdom. Yeah, those are the points. So I'm going to pause here and then we'll hear from you.